This is the story of the Promised Land of Taris, Part 2. Deep below the upper city of Taris, even below the lower city, lies the Undercity, inhabited by a motley crew of society's outcasts and criminals, banished to Taris's lowest depths where no light can penetrate. Oldest amongst the outcasts is a fellow named Rakghoul, who in the previous episode tasked us with finding journals supposedly with the ability to lead the outcasts to salvation in a place called the Promised Land. A place some believe is just a myth of an old kook, whilst others would rather it is kept that way. As we head to the sewers to find the lost journals, once more we are stopped by the ever-slimy Aegir.
I saw you talking with Rakghoul. He told you his legends about the Promised Land, didn't he? He told you all about his missing apprentice and the other lost explorers, right? You know, most people don't believe his stories. They figure he's nothing but an old kook. But I think there might be some truth in what he's saying. That is why I want to stop him.
Why are you telling me this?
Oh, don't worry, I'll make this quick. I've got an offer that might be worth your while. For an outcast, I've got things pretty good. The village relies on me to bring in food and supplies. I'm an important man. If it wasn't for Gendar, I'd be running this place.
I get the feeling if it wasn't for Gendar, this place would be a lot worse off than it is.
But if Rakghoul ever finds his Promised Land, I'm sunk. People won't need to rely on me anymore. I'll just be another nobody like all the rest of the villagers. I won't let that happen.
That is horrible. How can you be so self-centered?
Don't judge me. I learned a long time ago that if I want to survive down here, I've got to look out for number one. The two explorers who went searching for the Promised Land might have found something. They might have found clues or evidence, just like Rakghoul's apprentice.
You want me to kill Rakghoul to shut him up?
I don't want you to kill Rakghoul. He's not the problem. It's those damn explorers that went before him. What if they actually found something? They would have recorded that information in their journals. I'll pay you if you bring all three journals to me. The two from the explorers and the one from Rakghoul's apprentice. Then I can destroy the evidence and make sure nobody ever finds the Promised Land. I've saved up enough credits for my business here to make it worth your while if you help me.
Forget it. I won't betray Rakghoul in the village for you.
Don't be a fool. I'm the only one here who can pay you for those journals. Rakghoul has nothing. He won't be able to come up with any kind of reward.
I'll think about it.
Once you have all three journals, just bring them to me and I'll give you a decent reward. Now, was there something else you needed?
Nope. Heading out of the gate and east to the sewers, we spy a Sith patrol leader.
You there, civilian. This is a restricted area. What are you doing down here?
And you can answer, look, I've got all the security papers.
Security papers? Oh, you're one of those trackers the commander sent down, right? They should have given you an armed escort. It's nasty down here. We've already lost one patrol. We figure the Rakghouls got them. We've had so many encounters with those things, we've actually run out of Rakghoul serum. Plus, we've had several skirmishes with looters from those lower city swoop gangs. I'm telling you, we should just stay in the upper city where we're in control.
You just follow your orders and keep looking.
Hey, I'd never disobey my orders. I'm not a fan of court-martials and executions. I was just talking, you know. Nothing anyone has to mention to the commander. Come on, patrol, let's get back to it. The sooner we get this search done, the sooner we can get out of this mutant-infested hole. Move out!
Letting them go gives you nothing except avoids a fight. Or you could say,
You there, civilian.
I don't like your tone.
You're questioning the Sith. How many people do we have to kill before the rest of you learn some respect? Well, I guess it's time for another lesson. Patrol, attack!
Now, if you don't kill them with a grenade quick enough, you're going to have a bit of a fight. As they have their energy shields up. You can hit them with some poison grenades if you have them handy, but you have to wear down all of their defenses with these energy shields. As you can see, they just bounce right off, and it's a much more difficult fight. However, when you take out the leader and his patrol, they actually drop some really cool loot. The leader has on him a frag grenade, Sith energy shield, so now you can use a shield too, are a blaster rifle, motion detection goggles, which is the first headpiece that we found so far. Some of his patrol has an advanced med pack and blaster rifle, and another blaster rifle as well.
What?
So on top of the experience, you also get some really good items, and there's not much to lose outside of some health for actually attacking the Sith, because clearly they're an undesired occupant of this city.
Let's go! Ha! How'd you like that?
After contending with the Sith, we head due east, looking for a sewer entrance, and are met with some friendly Rakghouls.
Let's go! Ready?
Yes?
And we head into the lower sewers. As we open the first door, we are set upon by an ambush party of Gamorreans.
Ready?
That hurt, I bet.
Time to rumble.
Which, unfortunately, for one poor outcast, had already met them before we did. On their corpse, we find some parts and credits, and head south. And to the door just to our east is a grate with some type of sewerage that we're happy to run through, and a small gaggle of Rakghouls set upon us, as it seems like they've been feasting on some corpses in the room. Upon further inspection, the corpses yields one of the Promised Land data pads, in which it says, "This journal is a record of a long and difficult search to find the Promised Land. It contains many half-completed maps and cryptic notes, all attempting to decipher whether the legend is true or simply a child's fable. By itself, this journal does not contain enough information to solve the mystery. However, it could be a valuable piece of the puzzle. So with that, we have to find the second map."
Yeah?
Sure.
After healing up, our party ventures forth. We proceed south to one of the main sewer ducts.
Ready?
There's a handful of Gamorrean guards that are standing patrol, as there's a rumored Gamorrean compound in the sewers, which is pretty fitting for a bunch of pig people.
How'd you like that?
Heading through the door just to our right, we see there's a force field and some mines. Which will take us to the furthest section of the main quest by the hidden Bex to find a swoop engine.
That energy shield leads to another section of the sewers. The entrance to the Vulcar base is somewhere past there. I've got the codes to lower the shield, but we have to rescue Zalbar from those Gamorrean slavers. Don't worry, we can come back after we find Big Z.
It's pretty clear that we have to help Mission in her own mission of saving Zalbar before she's going to lower those shields. So we head west and keep on searching as we come by an errant Gamorrean. It looks like he's patrolling by himself, hence the name Gamorrean Patrol. Unfortunately for him, he has an axe, which is only good for close quarters.
What?
So the distance and time it takes for his pig legs to make it to us running, it was not sufficient. Now, as we check out the door to our right, we see in fact that there are some elite Gamorreans guarding this door, and a Gamorrean chief.
How'd you like that? Down you go!
Now they do take down my party fairly quickly, and unfortunately it's up to Karth to save the day. We head back out the way that we came and about face, hoping again that the time that it takes for them to catch up will be enough time for us to execute our attacks and avoid being hit with their axes. Last but not least, we've taken out the chief and the elites and pick up the loot, a grenade and an oral amplifier, a cardio regulator belt, which is cool. Healed up,
Yes.
we proceed further And looks like we forgot one sneaky Gamorrean elite in the corner, so we have to take care of him.
Look at this. This is one of those old-style manual locks. No computer codes or nothing. The sewers is the only place you'd see one of these on Taris. You can't use conventional security spikes on these old locks. But don't worry. I've come across them before. I've rigged up a little device that should do the trick.
Upon opening the door, we're greeted by Zalbar, Mission's Wookiee friend.
I'm glad to see you too, Big Z. You didn't think I'd forget about you. Mission and Zalbar, together forever. These are my new friends, Big Z. Without them, I could never have got you out.
So, is there some kind of reward for freeing you?
A life debt? You sure about that, Big Z? Think about it carefully. You better be sure about this. Big Z swearing a Wookiee life debt to you? Wow, this is major. Do you realize what it means?
Yes, I've always wanted a Wookiee slave.
Hey, Zalbar's not your slave. He just swore a life debt to you. It's not the same thing. A life debt is the most solemn vow a Wookiee can make. It means he'll stay by your side for the rest of your life. Wherever you go, whatever you do, Zalbar will be with you.
I don't suppose there's any way I can get out of this.
Sorry, but there's not much you can do about it. Zalbar's already sworn the life debt, and it's not something they can just take back. This is a sacred, irreversible vow. I guess this means you're stuck with me, too. Wherever Big Z goes, I'm going. I almost lost him once. It's not gonna happen again.
Oh! Why won't this nightmare end?
Hey, don't underestimate me. I may be young, but I'm quick and plenty smart. You just give me a chance and you'll be surprised at how useful I can be. So, I guess I still owe you one secret path into the Vulcar base. That was the deal, wasn't it? Don't worry. I know a back door into that scum den.
Good. The sooner we get there, the better.
I better come with you. The Vulcars put up a force shield to keep the sewer dwellers out. I'm one of the only non-Vulcars on Taris who can get you past it. I can't remember exactly how to get there, but I know it was somewhere here in the sewers. Over to the northeast, if I remember right. I just hope the Rancor monster isn't still there.
Whoa. Nobody said anything about a Rancor monster.
There used to be a Rancor monster that made its nest in that part of the sewers. Pretty much eats anything it can get its claws on. That thing is huge! Luckily, Rancors aren't too bright. I was able to sneak past it before, so I'm sure we'll figure something out. That is, unless you want to change your mind.
I mean, if you can get past the Rancor, shouldn't be a problem for me.
Okay then, off we go. Like I said, somewhere to the southeast. Just look for the force shield, and we'll know we're there.
Now, I chose not to have Zalbar join the party, mainly because he doesn't speak English and reading subtitles. You can't actually physically change the size of the subtitles in KOTOR, so I'm hyper aware that anybody speaking our language that is alien is going to be harder on the eyes for this series, and I've spent about 6 hours trying to fix it. So just out the door,
Just die already!
we have some more Gamorreans and a locker, which, once unlocked, shows a nice little bounty of Zalbar's bowcaster, some grenades, and some Berserk cards, if we so choose to play it.
What?
Heading back out the way that we came, we head back into the door that we passed and attempt to disarm the mine. Again, we didn't disarm the mine. Now,
What?
We find another corpse that looks like the first that we found previously with the Rakghouls that has 2 antidote, a med pack, and another Promised Land journal. Which rounds out our journal entries. We can now go back to Rakghoul. And there's also a deactivated droid lying on the ground, which you can reactivate, and it becomes quickly apparent at the fact that I should have tried to harvest more repair parts so that I could reactivate it, and it would have been a sentry droid to help take out the Gamorreans, which is a part of the beauty of KOTOR, is the fact that there are multiple ways to progress through the story. So that's an opportunity missed. So we head back out of the sewers the way that we came, and back to the outcast village to talk to Rakghoul and let him know what's happened, or Aegir. Both options are going to have polar opposite effects. You can choose to betray Rakghoul and give the journals to Aegir.
Hey there, Upworlder. You want to see what I got for sale in my inventory, or do you need something else?
I have the journals that you wanted.
Knew Rakghoul's legend about the Promised Land were true. Quick, give me those journals so I can destroy them.
And you can play with Aegir and say, look, I've changed my mind. I'm going to give them to Rakghoul.
Fine, go to Rakghoul. But he won't be able to pay you anything for those journals. Come back and see me when you're ready to stop acting crazy and you want to cut a deal.
Now, if you decide to stop acting crazy and cut a deal...
Right, your reward. Here's 100 credits. That's a pretty hefty payment for some old notes and maps, eh?
If you've got high enough persuade, you can actually say 100 credits. After all I went through, I want double that.
I don't want Rakghoul to get his hands on them journals. I'll give you 200 credits. That's all I have. 200
credits? It's a deal.
Excellent. Now Rakghoul will never lead these people to the Promised Land. Now, is there something else you need? You want to look at my inventory?
To which Rakghoul, with some horrible tracking behind an outcast.
False prophet! Deceiver! You have betrayed me! You have sold the hope of the entire village to the selfish and damnable Aegir! All I have worked for is destroyed. All the hopes and dreams of my father and grandfather before him turned to dust. Begone, Upworlder! I have only curses to speak at you!
If you choose this option, Rakghoul leaves and is never seen again. And on top of that, you get some 200 credits, 325 XP, some dark side points, because obviously you stopped the salvation of outcasts from ever seeing the light in a Promised Land. And more importantly, you lose the respect of Shalina.
I saw what you did. You gave those journals to Aegir. I will never find the Promised Land. How could you do that, you monster? Just get away from me. I don't want to speak to you again.
So that's the darkest timeline for the outcast. But if you choose to give the Promised Land journals to Rakghoul instead...
Welcome back, Upworlder. How goes your quest? Have you found the journals of my father and grandfather?
I have all 3 journals. Yeah, take them.
Can it be true? Is it possible that at long last, the dream of my father and grandfather before him will be fulfilled? I can hardly bear to look. Yes, of course. Now I understand. It all makes sense. Now I see why the Promised Land has been so hard to find. It is so obvious. You have done a great thing, Upworlder. A selfless act that will bring great joy to all the people of this village. I must take this to Gendar right away.
Rakghoul, what do you want now? Have you more fables of a hidden paradise just waiting for us to find it?
You may not think these are fables after you see what I have brought you, Gendar. Look at these journals.
What? No, it can't be. Are these real, Rakghoul? Is this information accurate?
I swear to you everything in these journals is true, Gendar. The Promised Land. I told you I would find it.
The entrance is far from here, Rakghoul. It will take us weeks to get there, perhaps even months. And we will have to cross many Rakghoul-infested areas.
I do not deny the journey will be hard, Gendar. But surely it is better than the miserable life we have here.
Wise words, Rakghoul. Our supplies are high right now. We could leave by nightfall. I will tell the others to prepare for the journey.
Thank you once again, Upworlder. I will say a final goodbye. For where we are going, I fear you cannot come. The journey to the Promised Land is long and arduous.
You can offer to actually follow Rakghoul and say, maybe I should come with you. I could help you on your journey.
No, Upworlder, I cannot ask that. The journey will take many, many weeks, and those who make the journey cannot return. That was the final secret of the Promised Land. When the colony was created, it was designed so that people could enter willingly, but they could never leave again. This was to ensure secrecy on the project. We must part ways here, Upworlder. I sense your destiny is yet to be chosen, but the destiny of my people is at the end of the long journey ahead of us.
And with that, Rakghoul gathers up the outcasts, Aegir included, as you see, and they head to the Promised Land. And you gain 325 experience light side points and lose some items, obviously, the journals. Now, the problem with helping these outsiders, if you're going to spend any time in this village, is the fact that they're all gone. There's no more trading with Aegir. If you haven't done the quests, there's some more side quests. It's too late, so you'd want to finish them first. But the real burning question for many KOTOR fans, myself included, was what was the fate of the outcasts, which will be revealed in episode 3.